Stories on the possibility of time travel and visiting other worlds litter the annals of human culture. Many ancient mythologies have stories about a person catapulted into the future, often as a result of a long sleep or visiting a strange realm where time passes more quickly than on Earth. But for centuries, no stories depicted a future era or any people or artifacts that might come from the future into the present. Cultures took it for granted that they couldn't know what lay ahead. But attitudes change. In 1733, 7 years after Jonathan Swift wrote Gulliver's Travels, Samuel Madden penned Memoirs of the 20th Century, a fictional letter written in 1997 and given to him by his time traveling guardian angel. In 1843, one of the most famous time traveling stories appeared, A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. The main character, Scrooge, not only could move forward and backward through time, but he also changed his own future after about learning where it led. Other tales of interest include 1848, Edgar Allan Poe publishes the essay Eureka, a Prose Poem. Though it receives poor reception, the piece muses on the possible formation of new and parallel universes, which becomes a focus for scientists and writers to come. It includes ideas that presage the structure of the atom, the theory of relativity, and the Big Bang Theory. 1871, Lewis Carroll's Through the Looking Glass, in which Alice discovers that everyday objects can possess secret doorways to other worlds, is an idea echoed by C.S. Lewis in his 1950 novel about four siblings and a special piece of furniture. 1888, H. G. Wells publishes The Chronic Argonauts, in which a scientist time travels thanks to technology rather than spirits, hoping to find a new era to call home. 7 years later, Wells develops this idea further in the novel The Time Machine. 1941, Robert Heinlein's short story, And He Built a Crooked House, in the magazine Astounding Science Fiction, in which an architect builds a tesseract house containing an internal space several times larger than what its outside dimensions should hold. 1942, Henry Kucher's short story The Time Locker, featuring a container that seems bigger inside and acts as a doorway into the future, altering the dimensions of whatever enters it. 1953, the BBC's The Quatermass Experiment is the first original science fiction television series written for an adult audience. The hero, Bernard Quatermass, is an idealistic and highly moral scientific pioneer who defends Earth from alien threats. Some consider him to be the first original hero of British television. 1955, Poole Anderson's story Time Patrol, depicting a group of talented professionals who safeguard history from being altered by conquerors and time terrorists. Then, in 1963, Sidney Newman, Verity Lambert, and others brought forth a television program featuring a strange alien and a seemingly ordinary wooden box that could take you anywhere, anywhen. Doctor Who premiered on November 23rd, 1963, and television changed. Who is the Doctor? He is a somewhat reckless scientist from the planet Gallifrey in the constellation of Castor Boreas, a member of the Time Lords who act as custodians over reality. He turned his back on his people and left in a TARDIS that he had stolen from a repair shop, leading to many adventures with many traveling companions. Several times during the classic program, the Doctor clashed with the Time Lords, who saw him as a barely tolerable renegade, despite his heroics. The original classic Doctor Who was cancelled in 1989. In 1996, there was a television movie. In the year 2005, Doctor Who returned to the BBC, where it still airs to this day. We have over 60 years of Doctor Who. We are now on the 15th Doctor. So there's plenty for everyone to enjoy. So enjoy your journey through time and space, and good night.